Yo, it's your boy Uncle Cooley. Welcome back to the Toast Up Podcast. If you don't know what that means to open a sincere transformation upon people. This is episode 7, and we're going to be talking about 2 universal languages. Number 1, a popular one called love, and number 2, vulnerability. And I got a special guest. The future Grammy nominated. The leader on the campus. Presidential cozy. Stay cozy. How you feeling, bro?
Doing pretty good, man. Thank you for the introduction.
Always, brother.
I'm vibing, man. We good over here.
You feeling good?
I'm feeling real good, man.
You feeling good? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
All right, so listen, I got a lot of questions for you, bro. Like I told you on the way here, like this is a real conversation, but you about to get deep.
Bet.
All right, so listen. Let me ask you this first. Let's just warm up the show real quick. Do you feel like, let me hear your top 5 rappers right now.
All right, right now?
Right now.
Game?
Yeah, right now in the game.
All right. Strictly just my 5.
Your 5. Like
all
your
right.
favorite 5.
My favorite 5, I'll do Drake. Gotta add Drake in there.
Okay.
I'll add Cole.
Okay.
I'll add Kendrick in there. I'll put Jay in there.
Okay.
And I'll put 6 rappers. I put Kanye in there and I put Nas.
Okay, so like we know you rap.
Yeah.
Do you try to model any type of like their style in your rhymes or anything?
Yeah, I try to model a little bit of all of them. Especially Cole, a little bit of Drake, a little bit of, Kanye, not more so with voice, but with lyrical content, delivery, you know what I mean? Like kind of being able to enunciate words in a certain way to make you feel it, make you feel what I'm saying a little bit deeper. My words, my lyrics, they're not really, they're not double entendres or triple entendres in any way, shape, or form, but they're things that you can really relate to, things that you can go back to, and it's a simple and quick listen. You know what I mean? So
do you feel as though like, cause I feel like every rapper that you just named, they have some type of vulnerability in their music. So they don't talk about, I got the next Rolly, things of that nature. Like, do you feel as though that vulnerability in rap can escalate or elevate your game?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I feel like there's still steps I got to make as an artist. I feel like while I have been vulnerable, I feel like a lot in my music, there's times I feel like I could be a lot more vulnerable. There's times where I feel like I can go a lot deeper with my lyrics rather than, finishing a line quickly, trying to make something rhyme. You know what I mean? Rather than doing that, focusing on what's going to make, the person listening to me understand me a little bit more and want to, get more intrigued by what I'm doing, which in turn gets them to listen to more of my songs and more of my music. So for me, vulnerability, I say in the beginning, I did it a lot. I was very vulnerable. I even talked about things. I experienced things in life and tried to talk about those in my raps. I kind of swayed from that a little bit over the last year, just trying to, work on just content and creating songs with hooks and bars and what's it called? Like bridges and all that type of stuff, features. But I'm going to get back into that starting in February.
Okay. What's your most vulnerable song?
Say my most vulnerable song, probably up to this point, probably the song's called Cozy Tape.
Ooh.
And that's from my first song from my first project, Cozy Season. You can find that on SoundCloud.
Okay.
And that's the 4th song on there. And throughout, that's just, probably the most in-depth I've been talking about, bad experiences I may have had leading up to that point of writing that verse. Things I was feeling internally, just things I was seeing, the people I was around, just seeing how people were moving. I just felt like I had to put it on a piece of paper, and let it breathe. And I went back to it, filled out a couple more holes that I still wasn't feeling, putting out, out of my body, things I was still holding in inside. That led to another verse, you know what I mean? And then I found this beat on YouTube because sophomore year, I say especially second semester, that was like when I first started, making music, first started writing for real and recording. So I was addicted to going on YouTube and going on BeatStars and finding beats that fit my what I envision myself to be in a couple years as an artist. And I found that beat online. It was a common beat. Common and Nas type beat.
Okay.
And it was just real. It was real thunderous. It was real. It was like megalomaniacal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a good way.
That's deep.
In best terms, you know, like I really related to it in a certain way where everything I wrote up to that point, and I thought about it in my head as a certain, you know, 4/4 beat that wasn't really, you know, matching up with that at that point. Once I heard that, you know, first beat, I connected it all together. You know, we made magic happen.
Okay. So I heard you say, you know, you were around a lot of people that you really weren't fond about. I want to talk about that a little bit more.
Where
So would you say that when you were around those people, were you showing your best side of yourself, or were you showing your worst side?
I feel like that's a great question. I feel like it's from different angles, not even just from the people I was around, but also the people that I was looking up to through, you know, social media or whatnot, or TV, just idols, and just trying to follow them. So to answer your question, like how I was around them, I can't even really blame them for how it was, because I wasn't even really being myself at that time. Reason why I felt like me being myself at that point in time wasn't really acceptable. I was still figuring my life out a little bit at that time, but I'm just coming out of high school. High school is very cliquey. You're just trying to find a clique, so find some people around you that you can connect with. You know, people that won't be wishy-washy toward you.
That's
and over
facts.
that time, yeah, facts. Like, and over that time, yeah, you can find the people that you really care about and you can connect with, your brothers, hopefully. But you also, in my experience, you know, you also have times where you may let certain stuff slide. You know, you let certain things like transpire that probably shouldn't. And if it happened in your household, you wouldn't let it transpire. Like,
Facts.
you know, like asking for bread, which is cool, but now it's becoming a routine. Like, all right, you asking for bread, you asking for food. All right, now, you know, we getting around a group of other people that we don't know. Now you want to be a funny dude.
Yeah, you acting real different.
Acting Hollywood, acting new. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm a real laid back. I like to observe things around me. You know, I'm cool with a lot of people, you know, but I don't need to break myself out to have to make someone out to be a joke, you know, to
Facts.
push myself up. So I just felt like I was letting that happen a lot, you know, freshman and sophomore year, and even going back into high school, just trying to fit in, trying to find myself. I always felt like I stuck out. I never was stuck in one place, you know what I mean? But I had to learn, I had to break out of that, you know what I mean? I'm still learning a little bit about myself. I'm learning what things I still let slide, things I allow myself to do to myself, you know, but it's all coming throughout.
So let me ask you this. I felt like, because I've been waiting for this question. I've been waiting to ask this question to somebody. So since we on the second, you know, the seventh episode, let me go ahead and ask this. So do you feel like it's important in life to, you know, like you said, you around a lot of people, you know, a lot of people, you know, you're well known on campus. And I know that a lot of people in life, you like to show your best side of yourself. You feel what I'm saying? Because you don't know them, so you tend to, you know, show your best side when you take girls out on the first date, or when you first get introduced to some male friends. You know, you're showing your best side. Yeah. But do you think it's important to show or have somebody in your life that you could be vulnerable around to show your worst side?
I'm gonna just repeat the question just so I understand what I'm answering. So you're asking, is it important to have somebody, you know, while you're showing your best side to a lot of other people, showing your best side or showing your worst side, being able to be vulnerable enough to show your worst side, having somebody for that? Yeah,
like having someone in your life that you can be vulnerable around to show your worst side.
Yeah.
Like, do you think that's important in life?
Yeah, I feel like, you know, it's easier said than done. I feel like we think we have that one person, or we think we have those groups of people that we can show our worst side to, but that's never really the case. Especially when you get into college and, you know, you're living outside of home for, you know, a long period of time. I feel like for the most part, up until you find that significant other, your family's, you know, that group that you show your, you know, prefer your worst side to. You know what I mean? You can be vulnerable with, you can talk to them about certain things. But yeah, I feel like the thing for me though, I'm still trying to understand how to do that, and understanding that I need that person, or I'm seeking that person, or I desire that person in the future, to have that connection with and have that vulnerability factor with them. I'm trying to still find a way to engage in that and search for that over the course of me also trying to figure myself out and figure out things that I need to improve on within myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To make me a better person for
Yeah.
that time. So I'm trying to find balance with that.
Okay, so my next question to follow up with that is, do you want those people in your life to point it out that your worst side is this, or would you rather just be aware of, like, you know what, I should have never did that. I should have never said that because this is who I am, and like, you know, you staying true to self basically, but you don't want to reveal that too much. You feel what I'm saying? So, like, do you feel it's important that they tell you about it? Like, you know what, you should have never did that, this, and the third, or would you want to be aware of what you're doing and try to change it?
I feel like as you grow up and you mature, a part of maturation is being able to hold yourself accountable. I feel like for me, you know, I don't put that on somebody else to say, all right, when we go out somewhere, we do something, you know, if I'm acting out of pocket or whatever, like, make sure you check me or whatever. Like, I got a group of people around me checking me when I'm tripping and all that. Like, it sounds cool, but I feel like part of growth and maturing is understanding, you know, where your flaws are at. And like you said, you know, when you're pointing out things like, oh, you messed up here, you tripped here, like, you could have did something better here. Yeah, that's cool. Like, I accept feedback, but once again, I'm also not putting my accountability on other people as their responsibility. You know what I mean? You know, my life, my mistakes, my difficulties, because, you know what I mean, at the end of the day, toast up. Like,
yes, sir.
You know, at the end of the day, it's like, now this is your job. Now you're around me all the time. Now when I make a mistake, you're going to be there to check me.
Right.
If I'm treating somebody wrong, you're going to be there to check me. Now, it sounds cute when it's a Twitter post and you're saying, yeah, I got people that are checking me when I'm tripping and I'll never fold on them. But now it gets to a point where y'all are now putting resentment to each other.
Right.
You're resenting them because, you know, you're feeling some type of way that they're showing you, you know, that you're doing something wrong or whatever. And then the other person's resenting you because they feel like, dang, like, we grown. Like, why am I acting like a parent to you?
Right.
Why am I constantly having to check you 9 times out of 10 when we leave out somewhere or we go out to a club or something, or we go out to a restaurant and you mad at the waiter immediately? Like, you know what I mean? So this type of stuff, like, that type of stuff, it's cool to have people that can hold you accountable on certain things that will improve you, that can optimize you, but there's a line between that and raising somebody as though they're your child. I wouldn't want that put on other people as their responsibility, you know?
Yeah, so, like, let's elaborate on this. Let's stay here. Mm-hmm. When is the cutoff point? Like, when is the cutoff point, whereas, you know, you and your boys go out, basically, and you got this one guy that you know that's a hothead that always show his worst side. When is the cutoff point? You like, you know what? On a consistent basis, you tend to act like this while we're out. When is the cutoff point for you?
Right.
On a personal note.
Honestly, I've had different situations where that occurred, you know, just from growing up. You know, I can't say that I've done it I had a consistent, you know, reaction each time. Like, sometime I cut it off, I nip it in the butt the first time. We go out and the next day, like, nah, like, I'm not really feeling that. Or then if it's somebody like my boy growing up, now it's going to be like, all right, I grew up with you, so now I'm going to let certain things, you know, go probably 1 or 2 times. So for me, it probably just depends on the situation. I feel like here, and, you know, people may agree or disagree, I feel like being here in school, it's a lot easier to be like, nah, I'm cool off that after like 1 or 2 times of having that situation occur with a group that you got, than if it's somebody that you grew up with since you were 5 or 6. But I try to keep it between that 1 or 2 times of like, you putting the group in harm's way, you know, with your actions, justifiably or not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're all in a different space. We all in a certain space where certain things can't be tolerated, You know what I mean? So,
And I feel that though.
but once again, I say with everything, like,
You sound like a boss. Certain shit can't be tolerated. You
yeah,
feel me?
like, but I feel like everything, everything needs conversation too.
That's
I'm
facts.
not the type of person, I can't leave somebody without talking to them about why I left them, or left them behind, or distance myself from somebody.
You feel like sometimes silence is louder than words.
Yeah, most def sometimes.
Like, for an example, because I know that you just said sometimes you can't have conversation without, leaving somebody. What if you knew that that person was dead wrong, and you know that person's aware of what they did? Would you feel as though a conversation is still needed for clarity, or you feel as though what, fuck all that?
Yeah, because some people get off on that. Some people get off on that conversation, that argument, that constant debate back and forth of, nah, this wasn't what I meant. You're thinking it wrong. Nah, this wasn't what I was doing. You was looking at it a certain way. You know what I mean? Like, it's all nuanced, of course, but yeah, there's some people that get off on seeing you flip, having 2 weeks and then having to blow up, whether it be text message or FaceTime or, conversations that they having with others, you know what I mean? Like, that may blow up. Those type of people, they already had those 1 or 2 times. So at that point, it's a different conversation, or it's a different, approach to conversation. If I already talked to you 1 or 2 times, or 3 or 4 or 5 times, if I'm close to you about why this annoys me and why you think this shouldn't annoy me, then what are we really talking about?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because now it's like me having to be redundant. Now it's like, all right, are you listening? Are you respecting me? Or is this like just a circus? You know what I mean? Like, but I get better with it as I get older, because I can't say I'm the king of knowing when it's the right time to cut things off.
Right.
It's so different with, especially, you have different dynamics of friendships / relationships with people, male or female, you know what I mean?
Right.
And certain things you let slide because they're a certain person versus, like, nigga, I just met you like this year, like,
yeah,
you try to talk to me like we just grew up together.
right.
Like, we go in the South, like, why you making a scene in South?
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah, because I don't even know you like that
I
for
don't even
real.
know you like
Yeah.
I can't even vouch for you at the end of the day. Like, I don't even know what you're getting into like that. Now that could be on me, but it's also like, you feel me? Like,
And it's crazy
respect
because
level.
it's crazy to me because a lot of people, a lot of freshmen, just at the early age of at an adolescent age, or the high school days, the early college days, a lot of people that you talk to, they're not your friends. So a lot of, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of young people get it confused, whereas, oh, like, I talk to that person every day, or I study with this person. That does not mean anything. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I feel as though that if someone can't be somewhat vulnerable around you, they're not your friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you don't know them to the point, whereas you think you do. You feel what I'm saying? Right. So I want to touch on this. We spoke about vulnerability. Do you think happiness is a choice?
I think happiness is an emotion that flows. I feel like contentment is what we should be searching for.
Okay, elaborate on that, because that's deep right there. 'Cause I don't know what the fuck are you talking about right now.
Nah, I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna dig deep.
Yes, sir.
So happiness versus sadness, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel happy. I feel sad. People say I am happy. I am sad. We look at everything that happens throughout our life every day in and day out, or we're supposed to. We're supposed to analyze what happens at the end of each day or the beginning of each day. How you feel when certain things occur, how certain people make you feel, all this. You can feel happy one moment when you get an A on the test, right? Or you can feel upset when you stub your toe. You get pissed off.
Right.
Right? But I guess when we talk about happiness, is happiness a choice? We look at, all right, what's my situation right now? What's my circle looking like? How's my family doing? Am I okay with what I'm looking like right now, or how I'm feeling? That's contentment. I'm not content with this. I need to change my surroundings. I'm not content because I'm not happy. You know what I mean? Or if I'm not happy or I'm upset, why do I feel that way? And am I content with feeling how I feel? because we're gonna be sad at the end of the day. Sometimes,
Right.
but we're gonna be happy. Hopefully, mostly throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
There's gonna be times where that occurs. It's all about how we attack that, how we deal with that. Sometimes, if we're sad for a long period of time, it's because we keep letting certain thoughts and certain actions repeat itself a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I still have a lot to learn. There's a lot of things I still need to, break out of with bad habits that lead to bad emotions. But
Okay. Do you feel as though that being sad is a choice? Like, do you think people wake up and decide, you know what, I want to be sad because that fulfills me?
nah, when we say it like that, I wouldn't give someone that power to just be like, I'm gonna just be okay with being sad. I think they can't. I don't think people can control I think people can control it consciously, but I feel like when you're in a constant theme of sadness, for example, or happiness, when you're in a constant theme of sadness, you can't even tell yourself, dang, why am I being so sad right now? Like, I need to break out of this. Because it's like,
okay,
it's constant. It's like, what's it called? When you catch something you don't even think, reflex. It's like,
right.
You're writing something crazy, like, it's like it just pops up. It's like you don't even really think about it. You just kind of.
So you feel as though it's your subconscious mind, basically, somewhat.
When we say sad, no one can choose. If you're sad, for example, like if you're going through loss, you're going like you lost a family member or a lot of family members in a couple years. Who am I to be like, yo, stop being so sad, man? Like you're acting wild,
right?
Or at least I wouldn't expect yourself to be like, man, I'm tripping. Like people die every day. Like why am I tripping?
Right, yeah.
Time to wake up. Because even after you do that, even after you try to do that, there's like a whole couple hours or a whole couple of days of you having to break out of that cycle and consciously make decisions that make you happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what's crazy though? Because I disagree with you. I feel as though that a lot of people wake up and they have the option to be happy. Yeah. Even though, it's a lot of external things that's going around them.
Yeah.
Death. I think that, death is a very sad thing. And a lot of people grieve. It's a time period. But overall,
right,
you're not waking up saying, being sad. But I think a lot of people in life, especially millennials, I think a lot of millennials wake up sad and choose to be sad because that helps fulfill them. Yeah. For an example, I
can see what you're saying.
Yeah, a lot of people that wake up and be like, you know what? That person is doing better than me. I'm going to try to bring that person down where I am. Just like the famous quote, misery loves company.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So I do think that a lot of people in life, they don't even know that they like being sad because some sad people are happy being sad.
Yeah. But do you think, because I agree with you on that scale,
yeah.
But I'm going to give an example for what I'm about to ask. Yeah. Do you think they even realize that they're doing that? That until somebody comes up to them being like, yo, you're acting really jealous. You're acting really depressed, right? Like, not depressed, but like you're acting really negative, like sad right now. For example, I'll give you an example. We go on social media all the time and look up celebrities and what they're doing, right? Whether we form relationships with them, sometimes we like them, sometimes we don't.
Right.
Every time we do that subconsciously, we're thinking about it and being like, dang, I'm looking at their likes, and I'm looking at how many people are commenting, and I'm looking at who's commenting it. So if it's somebody that I go to school with, I just happen to be attracted to, and they just like this dude's photo or this girl's photo, now, shit, I gotta go. I got my fault. Excuse my language.
No. Go ahead, bro.
Weird. But like, I gotta go ahead and follow them now and see what they're doing and see how they're moving. Subconsciously, you're already putting yourself in the space like, dang, I'm not where I want to be right now. I'm okay with it. I'm content with it. But I'm not, I don't like where I'm at. I don't like the things surrounding me. I'm grateful for it, but I wish I had more. Like I feel like.
Okay. Now, I definitely see your point, but I think that's just delayed satisfaction.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? Because like I always say that a lot of people won't be satisfied or happy until they get the car of their dreams or until they get that job of their dreams. That's your fault.
I feel that.
You feel what I'm saying? All because you go on social media and see a girl that you liking other things and say, you know what, I gotta be like this. I don't feel like that's just sad. That's something, that's insecurity.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I feel like, insecurities, because a lot of people may have insecurities more than others, but still are happy who they are. You feel what I'm saying?
I agree with that 100%. I agree with that.
So it's like, I know some people in the world wake up happy, being sad. Right. You feel what I'm saying? Right. Like it's a lot that go with that. And I think that people need to be more aware of who they surround themselves with. Because you want to get here and your friend likes being sad, or a person that like being sad and you like being happy, they want to bring you down because like the famous quote says, misery loves company, and it's deep. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying?
And it starts real early.
Subconsciously. Like, you know what? Yeah. You know what? Don't do this, because subconsciously I don't want that person to surpass me in a way. You feel what I'm saying? Like, stay your ass here in the hood, whereas I can see you every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I know you can sing, like if I know you are smart enough to go to college, and then one of your friends back in the hood say, you know what, I don't want him to go to college, or I don't want her to go to college. I want her to be in here miserable. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's on you. At the end of the day, I don't feel like that has nothing to do with probably insecurities too.
I feel like
in a way.
I feel like there's a correlation, but not a causation. Like, being insecure shouldn't affect, because insecurity is natural for humans. Like, naturally there's something, and there's levels, like you said, of insecurity as well as jealousy sometimes. It's a correlation to people of why they could be sad or why they could be happy, but it's also not the cause. That's not an excuse.
Okay.
There's always a way for you to elevate.
Okay.
And that's what I think we agree on. I think we agree on the same thing. I think it was just how we look at it, like as far as like what affects being happy or sad, or if it is a choice. But I feel, damn, I just lost my
no,
just lost my point. Nah, toast up.
But I want to ask you this before, this is the last question. What's the difference? Like, do you think you can love somebody without being vulnerable?
Before I answer that, can you describe what you mean by vulnerable?
Okay. So let's just say you dating some girl, right?
Yeah.
You like her. You start to love her. You start to fall in love with her. Mm-hmm. But then again, you don't want to do certain things like cry in front of her. You don't want to do certain things like express or articulate how you feel about her, because you don't want to feel vulnerable. You're afraid of getting hurt. It has nothing to do with love. You get what I'm saying? It's all about being vulnerable. Do you feel as though that you can fully love someone without being vulnerable? Like letting that person in completely, like trusting that person with your feelings. Do you feel as though you can love someone without being vulnerable?
If I were to answer this question last year, I could say yeah. If I was answering last year, you know what I mean? Because I was at a point where, I thought being vulnerable was the reason of things not working out, whether it be in a friendship or, something more than that, or, an already established relationship. But now I'm circling back around, just understanding what life is about and understanding how important it is to have connections with people and have others see your side, more than just what your mask you put on when you leave out, not, no pun intended. As far as how you do that, I have no idea, because I'm still learning that.
Yeah.
I still feel like there's still things that I'm not nearly as vulnerable as I should be on, but it's all with trust,
Yeah.
I could say to somebody that they should be vulnerable in their relationship with their significant other, but I also tell them before that, you got to learn to trust. You got to learn how to trust. You got to learn how to trust yourself. Learn how to trust others in a relationship, or in a family setting. Because if you don't even trust that person, you're definitely not going to be vulnerable.
That's facts, though. Like, do you feel as though no matter if you're in love with that person or not, like, do you feel like you could be in love and not trust someone? Because that's deep.
Because what is, for me, love is loyalty sacrifice, and yeah, that's what it is. Loyalty and sacrifice. Like, and love only can be shown in situations and adversity, not meaning like arguments and stuff, but meaning like, all right, somebody comes into this house and starts to rob us. Like, are you gonna protect me, from getting killed? Or it's moments like, all right, like, we going out and Bron just comes in the room. Like, all right, you really finna walk up and leave me just like that, or you want to be like, let me chill,
right?
Like that's what love is. Now, in love, that means like, damn, I can't stop thinking about you, and I'm mad at you all the time, so I'm looking at the phone and looking through our past messages, so I feel something again. We look through all these old pictures. Like, that's in love. Like, yeah, you can be in love, but you probably it's going to end off like real
bad though.
Yeah, love is a choice. Like, love, especially when you find that significant other, like, love. And this is stuff I'm learning, because I used to think of love as in love, like, oh, love is like you gotta do stupid shit, you gotta look dumb in front of everybody. Love is like, nah, we together, we gonna have ups and downs, and we gonna look at each other and be like, all right, I love you enough, I trust you enough, and we gonna figure out a solution to this.
Yeah, no, like,
you can't do that without trusting somebody though.
I feel like definitely, the popular universal love language, language basically is love, and then you have vulnerability, and I feel as though that you can't love somebody without being vulnerable, because now you trust somebody, and then you have the loyalty to follow up with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything we just talked about, like being your worst self, being vulnerable to show that person your worst self, I feel like that's a little bit of vulnerability, because there's a lot of facades going on in the world. Like, you meet somebody for the first time, oh yeah, what's up? Yeah, this that's not who I really am. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm all cheesing, but truth be told, like, I'm cool. I'm being cordial. I'm being professional. I'm fitting in with society acceptance, in other words. But for the most part, like, I feel as though that a lot of people should really reevaluate who to hang around with. You know what I'm saying? Because being true to self, or even showing your worst self, is really important nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Being aware.
Definitely agree with that.
Which is deep. But
I definitely agree.
We're gonna end the show on that. You feel what I'm saying? Anybody you want to show out?
Yeah, man. Shout out to Q'd Up Productions, man. Shout out Zay, shout out Will, shout out Mario, shout out Sav. You feel me? Shout out the fam. Shout out Toast. Shout out Toast Collection.
Yes, sir.
Shout out 444. Shout out my boy Carlos, Uncle Cooley. Shout out Zay. Shout out Lloyd.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, y'all doing y'all thing right now.
I appreciate you, bro.
Of course, of course.
You know what time it is, bro. It's the toast segment, man. Toast to you, bro. Toast to your accomplishments, man. Toast to getting this far in life, bro. No matter what you go through, continue to go. Continue to be yourself. No matter what obstacles you have to hurdle, continue to strive. And like Nip said, man, this ain't a sprint. This is a marathon. And I'll see you at the top, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Toast up, bro. Toast to your achievements. Love.